welcome. You're watching the Newshour special edition with me, Priya Bahal. As 2023 wraps down and one reflects on the conclusions from the year gone by, hectic activities are underway in all political camps to cement their strategies for the battles ahead. They are learning lessons from what has happened over the course of last year and using that to concretize their blueprint for the battles coming up. BJP's national office bearers today met to finalize the action plan for Lok Sabha elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi set the target: 10% addition to the existing vote share of 2019, and Amit Shah then went on to list the deliverables. Congress, on the other hand, announced organizational overhaul as well. But interestingly, the same day, the grand old party decided to rake up the hijab issue once again, something that one would have thought had been settled after multiple court verdicts and is currently pending with a larger bench of the Supreme Court. Was it just a coincidence, or is there a bigger plan behind the ploy to rake up the matter once again? What is the Mission 92 that we are talking about in the visuals that are playing out on your screens? We'll explore that over the course of next 30 minutes. But first, let's tell you what happened to bring this controversy into headlines once again. Speaking at the inauguration of 3 police stations in Mysuru district, Chief Minister of Karnataka Siddaramaiah said that no one should indulge in vote bank politics. Lashing out at the BJP, he then went on to say that they say Sabka Sath Sabka Vikas but are sidelining those who wear caps, burqa and sport a beard. Is this what they mean, is what he said. But then when someone in the crowd asked him about restrictions on wearing hijab, the CM said, I have instructed the officials that there will be no restriction now onwards. That controversy has ended. Now, understandably and predictably, there was a blowback after this statement, after which CM Siddaramaiah tried to downplay it and douse the fires that had been ignited.
ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ್ದು. ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಅಡ್ಡಿಪಡಿಸಲಿ? ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಾಕತ್ತೀಯ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಮಾಡು, ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ? ನಾನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಕ್ಕು, ನನ್ನ ಏನ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅದನ್ನ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ.
ಈ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
ಈ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ವರ್ಷ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಅರ್ಧ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ,
ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Now, Siddaramaiah might have tried to downplay the statement. The BJP did not let it go. They say that the party is paying back what they got in terms of 70% votes in the recently concluded Karnataka elections, which brought the Congress back to power in the state. They say it is nothing but blatant appeasement with complete disregard to secular constitution and the rights of women.
You see, nobody demanded Siddaramaiah to withdraw this hijab decision. Just to please Muslim community, the Siddaramaiah has taken this hasty decision, and immediately he must withdraw that decision.
Bharatiya Janata Party strongly condemns the move of the Congress government in the state of Karnataka. We strongly object the move of the Honorable Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji.
राहुल गांधी कांग्रेस और इंडी गठबंधन की सरकार देश में बनी तो इसी तरह से इस्लामिक कानून, शरिया कानून लागू होगा. भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका विरोध करती है.
For last 6 months there is no development at all. He has got a better business to do than raking up this old issue which has been in the Supreme Court now. It is a matter in the Supreme Court.
Hitting back, Congress insists that whatever they are doing is as per the laws and regulations of the country, and the BJP needs to go back and read the constitution instead of politicizing the issue.
Whatever the government of Karnataka is doing is well within the law and as per the framework of the constitution. So I would urge the BJP and their leaders to studiously have a look at the constitution. what our Honorable Chief Minister has made a statement is in tune with the law. The old government's, last government's decision about hijab was totally biased.
इसको सोशल डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया इस्तेकबाल करते हैं क्योंकि मैटर अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच के सामने है। और इतना ही बात नहीं, 2021 से 23 तक हजारों के मुस्लिम बच्चियों को हिजाब की वजह से एग्जामिनेशन हॉल को एंट्री होने के लिए नहीं दिया गया है, तो इनको भी जस्टिस दिलाने की जिम्मेदारी आपके ऊपर है।
Glad that the government has allowed freedom of choice in the way students will dress when they go to school. The important thing is to be inclusive and allow as many people as possible to access education and not restrict them by imposing certain conditions which would inhibit them from coming to educational institutions.
So is it about equality or political expediency? The answer to that question will be given by guests that are joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Sudha Halkai, spokesperson BJP Karnataka, is with us. Mohan Krishna, former media advisor to Karnataka Chief Minister, joins us on the broadcast. Lokesh Jindal of the Congress and advocate Umar Junaidi, political analyst. Welcome to the show, sir. My first question to you, Lokesh Jindal. First, help us understand, what is the Karnataka government's position? Are they revoking the ban? Has it been revoked, or is it still under consideration?
First of all, the ban has to be removed. It will be removed in time to come. Because if you look at the Constitution of India, if you read the fundamental rights, fundamental right Article 21 read along with Article 25, if you read the directive principle of the state policy along with the fundamental duties, over here, you cannot restrict access to education simply on the grounds of religious practices.
Okay.
I am not going to counter what the Karnataka High Court has ruled. However, I would like to highlight that the matter is still pending in the Supreme Court. There is a three-judges bench.
Precisely. Yes. If Lokesh Jindal understands that the matter is pending in the Supreme Court, why does Siddaramaiah then go out and say, I have told the officials it is done and over with, you can wear whatever you want?
Because the directive principle of the state policy requires the state to ensure that education is made available to all. Education
Does that mean that the Karnataka government, Congress government in Karnataka, is now saying that they are going to go against the Karnataka High Court verdict, and then the Supreme Court also saying that till a larger bench decides on this issue, it will be status quo, which is that hijab is not allowed within classrooms?
Well, it is within the jurisdiction of the state government to come out with a government resolution uplifting the ban. It is not acting beyond its political and authoritative mandate given to it by the Constitution. So it is absolutely right if it wants to do away with the ban. The Supreme Court, the judiciary over here, it can always intervene if there is a PIL that is introduced. So I do not see over here any form of a overreach done by the state or anything that is unconstitutional.
And what do you make of the timing here? He was there to inaugurate police stations. It wasn't a school function where some female students or Muslim students who'd been deprived of education had come up to him to say that, oh, we've been deprived of our rights, so please help us.
This was one of the promises that were made during the election campaign, and
which was 6 months ago.
The chief minister had delivered on that. I think I'll congratulate him that he has been delivering on all the promises that he has made prior to forming the government, and he is standing up to it.
Okay, Ms. Halkai, it's just a promise that was made earlier, and now the chief minister is just reiterating it.
I would like to brush the knowledge of Mr. Lokesh. He's talking about the constitutional rights, okay? And it was our Puja Ambedkarji, who was the chief architect of Indian Constitution, who had mentioned that the process of parda or hijab would hinder the process of emancipation in women. That is the progress, general progress in women. And this remarks of Ambedkarji is clearly mentioned and cited in the High Court verdict for the hijab. I hope you understand that. First thing.
No,
second thing is we are not against. We are not. Please, when you spoke, I didn't interrupt. So I expect you to maintain the same decorum. The second thing is we are not against hijab being practiced in general. We are asking you all to maintain the dignity of uniformity in the institutions and in the professional pattern. There is something called as dress code. It has to be respected. It signifies some particular institutions. It signifies some professions. You just can't wear an apron and go to the court, and you just can't wear a black coat and go to the OT theatre or something like that. The same way a institution practices a uniformity, and that has to be practiced. One thing what Mr. Siddaramaiah is doing is, it is the diversion politics, it is the appeasement politics, and it is again disturbing the peace and or the peace, law and order of the state, absolutely disturbing the peace of the healthy Karnataka.
Advocate Umar Janedi,
there are so many burning issues.
You are an advocate. You would understand law, rights, directive principles more than anybody else on this panel. I would presume so, courtesy your qualifications. Why do you think that Siddaramaiah, who would well know the legal status of restrictions on hijab that have been imposed, right now come out and say that, you know, our government has decided to do away with it, first? And second, what made him change the decision and say that, oh no, it hasn't been done, we're thinking about it?
There was absolutely no need for
Mr.
him to
Janedi,
comment on this. You would have said that.
Do you think Siddaramaiah is unaware of the legality of this case, or is choosing to ignore it deliberately? I don't think Advocate Umar Janedi can hear me. We'll try and go back to him. But Mohan Krishna, bringing you in on this issue. Now, we speak on a day when BJP has put down his plan for 2024. They are saying that they are going to add 10% vote share. Is this the nervousness in the Congress that is reflecting in raking an issue that was settled?
Very good evening to you, Priya, and to everybody here. First of all, it's a prejudice, and it's already there in the Supreme Court. High Court has given the order. Government of the day, when it was led by former Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai, had taken a step in such a way that it has to be governed by the rule of the law. So we have referred it to the High Court, and High Court has given the decision, and we have followed it properly. Second thing, and they went to the Supreme Court after the High Court verdict, and now from 2 judges judgment, after that CJA has referred it for the 3-judge bench. Now coming to the point, what was actually necessary for Siddaramaiah to announce in a police academy function that hijab will be taken back, and I have instructed, and today he is rolling back, saying that we will consider it, and we will consider. See, this is the mindset of the Congress.
For the upcoming parliament elections.
We have to understand one thing. After the hijab ban in Karnataka, PFI got banned. Today STPA is talking. They want to promote the anti-social elements in Karnataka very much. They want to spoil the law and order situation in Karnataka. And they want to appease the minorities.
Right. Mr. Janedi, I hope you can hear us now. Please respond.
You will do everything. Let me, no, just give me 10 seconds.
No, you've made a point that legally this has been settled, and it's only because of political compulsions that Congress is raising this issue once again. Advocate Janedi.
The government of the day...
Now the people from the BJP are asking that question, what is the need to uplift the ban? The first question arises, what was the need to ban the hijab? There was no
Sir, that question has been answered by multiple courts.
If you wanted to go with the uniformity and you wanted to maintain the uniformity in the schools or colleges, and the Constitution has given right to wear anything, whatever they want to, if it is under the constitutional right and the constitutional.
Sir, you are an advocate. Sir, you are an advocate. I'm pretty sure that all these nuances have been deliberated upon and discussed in threadbare before Karnataka High Court and then one of the judges in the Supreme Court came to the conclusion that this is how it should be.
Exactly, but the thing, the Siddaramaiah, what he said and what he wanted to convey is that the right to wear or right to whatever eat is the right to an individual given by the Constitution. So we are not anybody to ask what to wear and what not to wear. And the government of the Siddaramaiah government is thinking of appeasement of ban.
Fine,
so
understood.
This was the promise made by
this is not new. This is what they said 6 months ago as well. They said this before Karnataka elections as well. Priyank Khadge had come out to say it had stirred a lot of controversy. Even then, it's been 6 months. Do you trust a government who hasn't done anything about it? What he said today, he could have said 6 months ago.
Everything requires time, and according to that time, they will be fulfilling the promises made to the people of the Karnataka, and they are fulfilling it. They made a very clear promise that hijab ban will be lifted, and they are lifting it now. So what's wrong in that? What there to be debated?
Sudha Halkai,
so this is
that is how it works. Political parties make promises. You promised that you will make an OBC a chief minister. OBCs vote for you. You make an OBC leader a chief minister. Same way, the Congress party promised people what they wanted. They got 70% Muslim vote in Karnataka. So now they are delivering on their promises. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? One thing is, today the Karnataka is downsized in all the ways. Karnataka is in darkness. There is downfall of all the industries because there is the tariffs for the current electricity is increased to there is no limit, double, triple and all, and there is the drought. The farmers are committing suicide today. No relief is given to the farmers today. The women are facing the worst of the worst situations in Karnataka. The Dalits are facing worst of the worst situations in Karnataka. The 12,000 crores funds of the Dalits have been utilized for the freebies over here. In what way Mr. Siddaramaiah has done any justice to Karnataka, people of Karnataka, you tell me today? They don't have funds for the farmers. They have 10,000 crores for the minorities. What for? Isn't this appeasement politics? What sort of development they're doing in Karnataka?
Lokesh Jindal, is it an easy and lazy deflection? Because you don't have to deliver, but your vote bank will deliver, as has been proven in multiple elections.
Yes. My esteemed panelists would acknowledge that Article 46 of the Constitution directs the state towards educational upliftment of the weaker sections of societies, SCs, STs, and weaker sections of societies.
Right.
So
what has the Karnataka government done to do that?
You are going to uplift
the state is, madam, please do not intervene. Madam, the very conduct which you expect from me, please adhere to that. Madam, I would like
Ms. Halkai, please, let him finish.
I cannot accept it.
Ms. Halkai, you'll get a chance to rebut. Let Mr. Jindal speak, please.
It's very important that enabling mechanisms are made available.
How are you enabling Muslim girls?
By uplifting the hijab ban, even those from the backward sections of society, or those who are bit conservative sections of society who want to practice the religion along with the education, they would be permitted to do so. Now
in the last 6 months, which women's organization from the Muslim community has gone to the CM and said, we have this problem, please
I'll tell you
this?
What's the injustice. We have various religions which are allowed to practice their religious code of conduct in schools.
Mr. Lokesh Jindal, my question is simple.
No.
I don't know why you are not answering it. I am saying, I agree. I agree with you when you say that the state has the onus to ensure that women should get education, the deprived, the backward, everybody else should come forward. What has the Karnataka government done to ensure that?
The Karnataka government has initiated the process. It is just the 6 months that have gone. Over there, the Griha Lakshmi, all the 5 promises
no, we are talking about hijab.
By the Karnataka government.
We are talking about hijab and education. To me, it looks like for you the priority is clearly appeasement over women's education. Which women's rights group in Karnataka has gone to the Chief Minister to say that we are not getting to go to school? Please help us with this.
I want to ask one question to you. If a woman wanted to practice her religion and also continue with her education, is the state entitled to prevent her from doing so?
Nobody is stopping anybody from going to schools and colleges.
But the previous government was stopping.
No?
The
How?
previous government was
Did they say that girls with hijab are not allowed inside a school?
No.
So you're misdirecting, and this is
government-
precisely why politicization of issues like this becomes a problem.
No, I would oppose any form of limitation imposed upon any individual, whether on religious or any other issue. To be, if an individual is prevented from seeking education, that is something that the
Who has
state
stopped
ought not
anyone
to
from
do.
seeking education?
If
Which law, which court ruling says that Muslim girls can't go to
Why
school?
were the 6 girls denied entry into the school?
Because
Why were the
according to
6 girls
Karnataka
because they were
High
very
Court,
hijab?
where an institution's rights
Karnataka
begin,
High
your
Court came
personal
with its
rights
judgment
end.
Later, madam. Karnataka High Court came with its judgment much later. The girls were denied entry before.
But the
And
decision
rather
was
than
proven to be
holding
correct.
No.
It
Rather
was
than
upheld
filling
by
up
the
school,
court. So it got a
in
legal
December
stamp on it.
2021,
Who
let me give you the timeline. In December 2021, there were girls who were refused entry into the school. And it was in February 2022 that the Karnataka government came out with an order banning the practice of hijab. Subsequently, we had the Karnataka High Court upholding the ban of hijab. And then we had the split verdict in the Supreme Court.
Okay, I agree. So then, as Asaduddin Owaisi says, if you're so convinced, then why is Siddaramaiah government still contemplating?
You have given too much time to Lokesh.
I'll answer here. See, first and the foremost thing, when we are talking about the power, education has a state subject. The state in its jurisdiction can lay down all forms of guidelines for education and its accessibility. Secondly, we have Article 46, we have Article 21, Article 25. If you read the entire constitution,
Okay,
I do
Mohan
not
Krishna,
understand
it's
on
not
what
about
basis
assigning, you are the one who is assigning political motives. Government is thinking for the welfare of women to increase accessibility to education.
Accessibility to
You are the one who's
education.
politicizing it. The BJP is the one politicizing it. Ms. Halkai, I'll come to you next. Mohan Krishna wants to respond.
Where was the welfare of the women when Belgaum incident took place?
Let me ask.
Being given to the people. Women
Let me ask a simple question to Lokesh Jindal. The same argument was put forth in front of the High Court of Karnataka. Then why did they fail? They have brought in the best of the best lawyers to the Karnataka to make the appeasement politics, heights of appeasement politics. They failed it. High Court has ruled it out, saying that whatever the government's decision of the about the uniform has to be followed. Now they have gone to the Supreme Court. What is the earthly necessary? Let me ask a simple question to Lokesh Jindal. He is talking of Article 25, Article 46. What is Article 12 says? What is Article 12 says? No, I have not interrupted you. Don't interrupt me.
Sir,
Don't interrupt me.
You have a incomplete
Don't interrupt me, Lokesh.
No. Listen to me.
Don't interrupt me.
Please.
No, Mr. Lokesh,
You have the
Mr.
incomplete.
Krishna, please
See,
finish your
you
point.
are
Lokesh,
only
you got a
aim.
fair share of time.
Congress aim is to appease minority. For that, Siddaramaiah has said yesterday. Today he has taken back. He knows that he's an advocate by himself.
Miss Halkai,
Lawyer by himself.
speaking of the Supreme Court and what the court has said, to be fair, there is a split verdict that where the legal stands last. Now here is what the dissenting judge said. Is it too much to ask for the petitioners who want to wear a hijab to school? How is it against public order, morality or health? How does wearing hijab become a law and order problem? So is the Saffron Party to be blamed for exploiting this issue? For polarization?
See, we are not exploiting any issue. We are not doing polarization, Priya. We are giving the equal rights to everybody. What is uniform? It is the same in all the time and in all the class. Aren't we giving them the freedom of religious this one? Aren't we making them feel that you are one among us? Is that not understood by these people? You take any schemes of the central government, the minorities are given equal rights. Have you bifurcated them in any way?
No.
Today, India is a safe haven for the minorities. The theocracy of Pakistan government, or take it the Irans, they also want to ban hijab. Women want to ban on hijab. Whereas in India, the Karnataka government wants to say that they want to give the uplift on the ban of hijab. You tell me in what way it is going to empower Priya. You are a woman and I am a woman. You tell me in what way it is going to empower the women. You tell me. There is no safety for women.
Unfortunately for me, this is one of those questions where there is no two sides. When it comes to hijab and women being asked to wear it, there is no freedom of choice. What we see in Afghanistan today, that a woman who's qualified to be a doctor is now forced to clean floors to live. That is nobody's choice. There is nobody's freedom involved over there. But be that as it may, when Congress speaks of empowering the minorities, Lokesh Jindal, just a couple of months ago, there was a Muslim political forum that had met the Siddaramaiah government's leaders and said that we have voted for you en masse. They said that 82% of Muslim voters had voted for the Congress, but they neither have adequate representation in the cabinet nor in the ticket distribution. Do you still believe that you can make promises like revocation of hijab restrictions and get the 92 seats that we are talking about right now on the screens?
Well, there are two aspects to this. One is a political and other is a social one. When the
Let's just talk about the political aspect first.
The political, well, with respect to the political aspect, the decision lies mostly with Mr. Siddaramaiah, because he is the one who will be choosing his cabinet and he will be allocating the business. The rules of business will be allocated to ensure that the administration
Yes. And which is precisely why when he says that there is no restriction, I want to talk about empowerment, Sabka Sath Sabka Vikas, then where is this Vikas in the state cabinet?
If you think
10 Muslim candidates were fielded.
Well, recently there is a PIL that has been submitted in the Supreme Court with respect to Deputy Chief Minister. Now, what BJP does is, on the basis of caste and those who have voted, it has allotted Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Ministers, and it had made a mockery out of Council of Ministers. Now, you want Congress also to resort to this form of politics rather than condemning it. You must be upholding that the spirit of the Constitution and the manner in which the Council of Ministers ought to function is being practiced by the Congress party. So if Siddaramaiah government thinks that there is a capable Council of Ministers who are able to handle administration and the allocation of business would be done properly, rather than merely considering the religious and caste aspects, I think that is something that must be upheld, that must be hailed rather than...
So the thought is very nice that irrespective of caste, creed, gender and religion, most importantly, the policies should be made for everyone. Somehow, unfortunately, and the viewers can decide this for themselves, which party is just doing lip service and which is actually delivering on ground. The vote shares say it all. Thank you, gentlemen, and Ms. Halkai for joining us. We take a very quick break, but do not go anywhere, because on the other side, we get you the other big debate. The winter session might be